What sinister secret could drive a powerful official from the heights of influence straight into the defendant's chair? In a shocking courtroom twist, testimony has exploded, the Menglong case wide open, unveiling a chilling motive behind his tragic death that no one expected. What was said? And why is it shaking the nation to its core? Let's join Red Carpet Revealed to uncover the truth right now. What kind of secret could drive a powerful official to crumble on the witness stand, exposing truths so sinister they shake the very foundations of justice? That was the haunting question echoing through the courtroom when, in a stunning twist, a senior official's testimony ripped open the Menglong case, laying bare motives darker than anyone had imagined. The nation had been following the story for years. This was the moment when whispers of conspiracy transformed into undeniable reality. When a figure once untouchable confessed her truth too horrifying to stay hidden. To understand the shock of this moment, one must first recall the mystery that has hung over Menglong's death. He was no ordinary celebrity, rising to prominence with a combination of talent, charisma, and humility. You captured the hearts of millions. His dramas drew record-breaking ratings. His music soared on the charts, and his reputation as a grounded, sincere star made him beloved not only in his own country but across Asia. Yet, at the height of his career, he died under circumstances so suspicious that fans immediately cried foul. The official narrative was weak, riddled with holes. Claimed exhaustion, stress, and a sudden collapse had ended Yu's life. An autopsy rushed through by a respected forensic doctor labeled the cause of death as cardiac arrest. The details were fuzzy, inconsistent, deeply unsatisfying to those who knew him. Fans pointed out the bruises visible in leaked photos, the strange timeline, and the eerie silence from his management company. Journalists who probed deeper found themselves stonewalled or threatened. For years, the case was treated as closed, but no one truly believed it was. The push for truth did not come from institutions but from persistence. Yu's family refused to accept the story. His mother, in particular, stood before cameras again and again, holding his photo and declaring she would never stop until justice was served. Fans organized vigils, flooded social media, and pressed lawmakers. Hashtags like Justice for You trended across platforms, gathering international support. Slowly, cracks began to appear in the wall of silence. Documents leaked. Inconsistencies grew harder to deny. Whispers from insiders hinted at something far larger than a tragic accident. By the time the case reached the courtroom again, anticipation was at fever pitch. The gallery overflowed with reporters. The steps outside packed with supporters holding banners, candles, and photos of Yu's smiling face. Everyone sensed this was the moment something seismic was about to unfold. Still, no one was prepared for the explosive twist that would come when a powerful official, long rumored to be connected to the cover-up, finally took the stand. The man who entered the witness box was once untouchable, a senior figure with decades in government. He had wielded power like a shield, dismissing allegations as baseless rumors. But when the prosecutor pressed him under oath, his confidence cracked. Sweat beaded on his forehead. His hands trembled, and his voice wavered as he began to speak. What followed was a confession that left the courtroom in stunned silence. He admitted he had been involved in suppressing evidence related to Menglong's death, under orders from higher powers and fearing exposure of his own ties. He had instructed subordinates to bury reports, pressure doctors, and silence witnesses. His words painted a picture of corruption so deep it had ensnared not only the entertainment industry but also branches of government. "I was told," he said, his voice barely audible, "that Menglong had seen too much. He was planning to reveal something that could not be allowed to surface. My role was to make sure that never happened." Gallery erupted in gasps. Reporters scrambling to record every word. Families clutched each other, some weeping, others staring in disbelief. The judge pounded his gavel, demanding order. Chaos inside the chamber mirrored the storm outside, where crowds roared as news of the testimony spread instantly across social media. Hashtags like Court Twist and Dark Truth shot to the top of trending lists within minutes. What made his testimony even more chilling was the motive he revealed. According to his account, Menglong had discovered financial misconduct on a massive scale, millions siphoned through fraudulent contracts, offshore accounts, and networks designed to enrich the powerful while exploiting the vulnerable. Worse still, Yu had spoken of going public. He confided in friends and hinted in private messages that he would not remain silent much longer. He wanted to protect others. The official admitted, but in doing so, he endangered himself. Those above me decided he had to be stopped. The words fell like a hammer, confirming what fans had long suspected but never had proof to believe. You had not died of natural causes. Been silenced. And those responsible were not faceless enemies, but the very people he should have been able to trust, his management, his protectors, his supposed allies. The betrayal cut deeper than the violence itself. As the testimony unfolded, the atmosphere in the courtroom shifted from shock to fury. Prosecutors pressed for more names, more details, and the official, cornered and broken, complied. Spoke of meetings held in secret, of whispered conversations where Yu's name was discussed not as a beloved star but as a problem to be eliminated. He described the moment he realized there was no escape from the orders handed down to him. I knew it was wrong, he confessed, but I was afraid. Everyone was afraid. No one said no. The chilling admission sent ripples through the nation. No longer just about one official's guilt. It was about a culture of fear. And where truth was buried under the weight of power. Where even a shining star like Yu Menglong could be extinguished without consequence. Until now. By the time the session ended, the world outside had exploded into chaos. Protesters screamed for arrests. Fans collapsed in tears. And international media blasted headlines describing the testimony as the darkest revelation yet. The official, once untouchable, was escorted out under heavy guard, his head bowed, his career and freedom in ruins. But the damage had been done, not only to him but to the entire web of power he had exposed. Of this saga ends with a courtroom reeling, public outraged, and the nation standing on the edge of revelation. Full official has confessed, admitting to his role in silencing Yu Menglong and hinting at motives rooted in greed, corruption, and fear. But his testimony, as shocking as it was only the beginning. For what he revealed next tore open not just a case. Entire system built on betrayal. The darkest motive of all was yet to be unveiled. The courtroom was still vibrating with the shockwaves of the powerful official's confession when the real bombshell dropped. His earlier admissions had exposed corruption, cover-ups, and the cold machinery that had silenced Yu Menglong. What came next, the full disclosure of the sinister motive behind it all, plunged the chamber into chaos and confirmed the darkest suspicions of an entire nation. Pressed by prosecutors, the official hesitated. His face was pale, his voice cracked, and for a moment it seemed he might retreat back into silence. But then, with the weight of the Supreme Court pressing down and the eyes of millions watching live broadcasts, he spoke. Yu Menglong, he said, his tone trembling, covered something he was never meant to see. He had files that connected the industry's money to political networks, funds laundered, favors exchanged, entire careers built on exploitation. If those files had been released, it would not only have destroyed companies but toppled powerful figures in government. The words landed like thunder. The gallery gasped. Orders scrambled. And the judge pounded his gavel in vain. Suddenly, his death was no longer just an entertainment scandal. A political earthquake, revealing that the beloved star had become collateral damage in a desperate attempt to keep the machinery of corruption alive. Documents presented in court backed up the claim. Emails, financial records, and whistleblower testimonies confirmed that Yu had stumbled onto evidence linking his management company's embezzlement to a web of politicians and business elites. He had begun to draft letters, contact journalists, and even prepare a press conference. He was days away from blowing the lid off a conspiracy years in the making. That was why he had to be stopped. The official's words painted a picture of Yu Menglong not only as a victim but as a man of immense courage. He refused to remain silent, even knowing the danger. His friends had recalled him saying, "If I don't speak, who will, now?" Those words resonated like prophecy. A truth that cost him his life. The court was no longer hearing just about a crime, it was witnessing the transformation of a young star into a symbol of resistance. As the testimony continued, the tension in the chamber reached breaking point. Reporters wept openly. Journalists shouted questions. And some court staff turned away, unable to hold back tears. The official's voice grew more desperate as he described the night of Yu's death. They cornered him, he said. They surrounded him. He begged them to stop. But they couldn't let him go, not with what he knew. The details were agonizing. Yu's final hours, already immortalized in whispers and fragments, described in chilling clarity. He had faced not only betrayal but a carefully orchestrated plan to silence him forever. It wasn't a tragic accident, spontaneous act of violence. It was calculated, deliberate, and carried out by those he had once trusted. Outside the courtroom, the world erupted. Crowds swelled into the tens of thousands, chanting his name, demanding justice not only for Yu but for every victim silenced by corruption. Social media exploded with fury. Sinister motive and justice for Yu dominated global trends. Millions posting messages of grief and solidarity. National leaders even weighed in, with human rights organizations condemning the revelations and calling for sweeping reforms. The fallout was immediate and devastating. Powerful official, broken by his own words, was sentenced to decades in prison. But his testimony dragged others down with him. Executives from Yu's management company were arrested. Politicians once thought untouchable were forced to resign, facing charges of their own. The conspiracy unraveled like a rotten tapestry, each thread pulling down another figure of influence. First time in years, the system trembled under the weight of accountability. Amid the legal victories, grief still reigned. Fans mourned anew as the details of Yu's final hours sank in. His mother, addressing the media through tears, said, "They thought they ended his voice. But today, the world hears him louder than ever." Her words were replayed across broadcasts, banners, and repeated by fans online. In cities across Asia, candlelight vigils lit up the night sky, seas of flickering flames spelling out his name. The movement his death inspired grew larger than anyone could have predicted. Laws were proposed to protect young artists, ensure transparency in contracts, and criminalize the coercive practices that had led to Yu's silencing. Entertainment companies scrambled to clean their images, terrified of becoming the next target of scrutiny. Activists rallied under the banner of Yu's name, demanding not only justice for him but systemic reform to protect others from the same fate. Internationally, Yu Menglong became a symbol. Documentaries aired across networks, telling his story as both tragedy and triumph. Dedicated performances to him. Singers re-released his music, and writers declared him the voice that could not be silenced. Murals of his face appeared on walls in Seoul, Beijing, Tokyo, and even New York. Painted as both haunting and defiant. His whisper, "It was them, the ones I trusted," became a global rallying cry. A reminder that even in death, his courage endured. And so, the explosive court twist did more than expose a single sinister motive. It revealed an entire system built on fear, corruption, and betrayal. It transformed Yu Menglong from a victim into a beacon of truth. It forced the powerful to face justice, and it ignited a revolution that could not be contained. His death was cruel, but his legacy was unstoppable. Gavel struck for the final time, declaring the case closed. The judge's words echoed what everyone already knew: this is not the end. This is the beginning of justice. The courtroom emptied, but outside, the roar of the crowd only grew louder, their chants rising into the night sky. Yu's story would not fade. His voice, once silenced, had become immortal. The explosive court twist has done more than convict a powerful official. It has ripped away the mask of corruption, revealing the sinister motive behind Yu Menglong's tragic death. The courage to confront the darkness has now sparked a movement that refuses to be silenced. What began as whispers in the shadows has become a roar across nations, ensuring his truth will echo for generations. Stay with Red Carpet Revealed as we continue to bring you the secrets others fight to hide. The scandals shaking the world. Voices demanding justice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below, because together, we keep Yu Menglong's voice alive.